Hey everybody, Todd McFarlane here from McFarlane Toys. I thought I'd show you some of the stuff that we've got hidden behind the drapes here at 2017 Toy Fair. Let's start with the action figures first, and then we'll walk around. I'll show you some of the other cool stuff that we're doing. Here we've got Mass Effect. We're having a pretty good run with some of the top video games. We've got Sarah Ryder, Scott Ryder here. We're going to have our 7-inch figures. We were down to about 5 inches, but we've gone a little bit bigger. And now we're going to actually put even more articulation than we had before, so you're going to be able to do all these kind of cool posings with them. Big brand here. Here is something we're going to try. We're going to see if we can pull off that we can sell you now weapons that are pretty massive. And if you can see the scale of this thing, it's almost 4 feet long. We're going to figure out whether we're going to construct it for you, put it in a box, or whether we're going to have to take it a little bit apart, take this nozzle off, maybe some of the handles, and you're going to have to do a little bit of putting it together. But it's going to have sounds, I think 7 sounds it's going to come with, so you're going to be able to hold it. So you can either A, use this just to play with your friend, B, use it for cosplay, or when you're done with all of it, you put a couple hooks up on the wall, you put it up there, and it's a cool piece of artwork, right? If I walked into my buddy's room and he had like 5 cool weapons from 5 different games, I think it'd be awesome. This is called the Iron Gjallahorn. It's the go-to weapon. It's the batarang, if you will. It's the spidey webs. You have to have it if you like Destiny. Destiny's coming out with another video game. So we're going to be doing different scales and different sizes. You can see in here. Here are some of the characters that are in here. A little bit of difficulty that all the video games now are letting you customize your characters. Becomes a little bit problematic because there's now millions of opportunities to create characters, so which toys do I pick? So hopefully if we take some of the key ones, might not be the colors that you have in your game, but we'll be okay. So we have a warlock. We're going to start with the different factions. We're going to have a warlock, a titan, and a hunter. Might not be the ones you pick, but we've got to start someplace. The second game's going to come down and they're going to drop. Now let's walk over here and talk about another category. I've been doing toys now for 24. This is my 24th Toy Fair. Of everything I've done in 24 years, and I've done movies and TVs and sports and you name it, music, any category you can think of, video games, this brand right here, Five Nights at Freddy's, has sold better than anything I've done in over 2 decades. So it's this app game. It's not a movie. It's not a TV show. It's not on the cover of any big magazine. It's an app game that you can go download, and it just tells me that the world is changing, that you can have giant popular stuff, and us adults don't know about it, right? So go up to an adult, say Five Nights at Freddy, you're going to get a blank look, but this brand, not only the product that I'm selling, anybody in this room right now selling it, it's getting washed out. It's the first time in 2.5 decades that I've had to say no to an order because I can't make it fast enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue it. We're going to get store-wide at a couple of the big stores again going into Christmas 2017, but we're just giving different scales. So besides, you've got all these different compartments that are in the game, which is this cool little sort of maze game that, and I'm being simplistic here for all the people who don't know what it's about, because go talk to your kids. They've probably been playing for 2 years. You don't even know. We're going to have different scales and different sizes. So everything from a micro build we're going to give you, which is this one back here in the corner, all the way up to some of the big builds that we have here. And even this merry-go-round, actually, if you crank it, the animals actually go up and down like a real merry-go-round. So you're going to be able to open stuff, move stuff, but more importantly, you're going to get all these cool characters at different prices, everything from about $6 all the way up to $30. A couple of the other brands that we're going to be branching off on, and to just be clear, and also we're going to be branching off into these other categories. And to be clear, everything you see here is under what they call construction. So other companies that do construction are Mega Bloks, which is now owned by Mattel, Lego, right? You take plastic things and you put them together. That's what you're looking at right here. The finished product at the end of it doesn't look quite like theirs because I don't want it to look overly simplistic. I want it to look kind of cool. But a couple of the brands we're doing are, here's South Park, which is funny, goofy. If there's any kids here, you shouldn't be watching it, but go ask your mom and dad if they've been watching it because it's actually pretty good. This set up here is going to be from the video game. This is going to be Cartman's basement, and this is where they all dress up like superheroes. So you've got the Coon over here, you've got Mysterion, and then you get Tupperware, right? Goofy, some silly stuff, and then this one right here, which is Butters, and Butters is Professor Chaos. All of these will interlink, so if you buy them all, you can actually start building it, and the basement gets better, and the headquarters gets a little bit cooler. And then for those of you who just watch the TV show, then we're just giving you some of the cool generic stuff. Obviously, we've got the iconic imagery here of the guys waiting for the bus that comes along here. So this is Stan and this is Kenny. And then up here we've got, which is kind of a cool build. And again, these, as you can see here, are going to be hundreds of pieces to build all these. This is Mr. Garrison. And then you've got a Cartman, who to me is sort of the coolest guy. And then you've got Kyle. I don't know if you can quite see here. Maybe they'll get a close-up. But there's desks that are in there. And each one of the desks, if you buy the different figures from the different sets, you can actually fold their legs and put them all in. So at some time, you'll have all the figures sitting in a classroom if you want, and you can expand the desk that gets there. This one right here, we're giving exclusively to Walmart. It's called Steven Universe. It's on the Cartoon Network. I think it's another one of these properties, a little bit like Five Nights at Freddy, that's sort of hidden from us adults, that's just percolating below the surface. We'll see if it grows and gets bigger. Walmart is going store-wide with this Christmas. They've only said that twice in 24 years to me. Here and Five Nights at Freddy, twice, and they did it in the last week. So something's happening there, that the youth are getting their entertainment in a different way than we are. But you've got some cool figures, some vehicles. This vehicle right here, the doors open up, the sides fall down, the top opens up, you can put the figures inside it, so there's a lot of play to it. And then you've got Steven Universe himself. Let me reach in there, I can show you guys real quick. One of the things that we can do that some of the other guys can't do, let's go, here it is, there's little Steven. And the best part about it, for all you guys that are fans that know about it, those in the know, he's got his burger backpack, right? So that is worth the price of admission in and of itself. The other thing we're pretty proud of is that, unlike a lot of the Lego figures, with the Lego people, they're all the same scale. They don't have a chance to actually play with scale. I'm not worried about that. So if you get Steven and you put him next to his mom, who in the show is 8 feet tall, I don't know if you can see it, but here's his mom. Steven's kind of small compared to Mama, right? We're not trying to make every one of our figures exactly the same. So our little plastic figures will kick the crap out of any other figures out especially in the construction aisle that are out in the stores right now. So if you want to win your wrestling match with construction figures, you're going to have to buy mine, because my guys are all big. You're going to get his dad, you're going to get some other cool stuff. And then lastly, we've got another one, the third season of Rick and Morty will be coming out here soon. The searches for Rick and Morty, as we're getting closer and closer to this third season, are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. The metrics on the internet right now of everything that we're getting, this thing is just searching. Hopefully this thing takes off. But this is this odd, interesting Cartoon Network show too, just like Steven Universe, where you've got Rick and Morty here. And there's, again, I'd say it's like a hybrid between South Park meets Steven Universe, where it looks kind of cute, but if you listen to it, there's some sophistication to it. The cool part, the big build that's going to be really awesome, is you're going to get the lab where Rick and Morty work right here, and then you get the spaceship. And the thing that's cool about the spaceship is that, like, you get to lift up this dome, and you get to put the two of them in there, and then you've got the wheels and you can push it, right? So when I was a kid, anything that had any clear plastic on it was awesome, because it was like magic. You got to see something behind the plastic, and that it rolls on its own. So if you're into spaceships and you like Star Wars and you've got your 12 Millennium Falcons, right here is the next buy that you have to get right here. This little spaceship is just goofy enough that everybody will like it, and Mom will get there. So for me, the growth right now in our company is coming from the construction, the brick building, that will be probably easily over 50% of my business this year. So we've got the sophistication down in the action figure aisle, and then I consider this to be my fun stuff. So it's cute, it's bright, it's popular, it's fun, and we will take you over to The Walking Dead. All right, Here, hopefully all of you guys don't need much of an introduction here. This is The Walking Dead, right? Obviously the big historic brand that comes from AMC, and I'm going to brag, comes from Image Comics, of which I am the president, and we've been doing this thing for 15 years, so we were ahead of the curve before them right here. Robert Kirkman, my partner at Image, created this thing a long time ago, and he's like my boy growing up that's doing so well for himself. Here's what we've got here. We have different size scales here. So we have the 5-inch figures that we do with the articulation. This is going to be a 2-pack of Negan and Glenn, and for all of you that have watched the show, something happens between those two. We won't spoil it for those of you that still have to stream that episode, but something happens to these two guys together that we have here. Negan is here at the 7-inch side, so we're going to be doing some of the figures at the 7-inch side, and then we've got some of the figures coming out. We've done already, I think, Michonne and Daryl Dixon and Sheriff Grimes and Rick Grimes, and now we're going to be doing Negan at the 10-inch side that have, you know, limited. This one's going to be a little bit limited in its articulation, so you can get a nice pose. These ones will have about 14, 15 points of articulation, and these will have at least 12. And then, as you can see, this year we're heavy with this character called Negan, right? There's a Negan, and a Negan. And then the weapon that he uses is this bat. We came out with it last year, sold like gangbusters, but this is now the cool bloody version. And the fun part about this, we're going to find some coagulated paint. So when they do it at the factory, it's going to look like some of it's dried. And then I'm going to get some of the people on the line to actually get their hand to have some of that blood on it. So when they grip the bat, I'm going to show them how to grip a bat, because I don't know if they know how to do that in China. But we're going to get them, I'm going to show them how to do it, and then we're going to get real fingerprints on it, so it looks like a guy was actually holding it instead of just rubbing it. We're going to have fingerprints on it. So you go, oh, I wonder if that's Negan's actual fingerprints. No, it's just a factory worker. But you know what? We're going to sell it anyway. So we're just giving you a little bit of variety and a little bit of price difference. So that's some of the cool stuff we're doing. We've got some other stuff here that I'll show you, including my friend Spawn that I created a long time ago. Hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for giving me the time. Enjoy yourself.